Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Helen Hotai here, the diary reader. Now the purpose of my channel is to read out your diary entries should you like me to share them on my channel. Now because this is my first video and I've only just started, obviously I have no entries outside of my own to read. Therefore I'll read bits of my journal or diaries until I build up a bank of entries to read out to our listeners. Now a little bit about myself. My friends and colleagues, they think I'm quiet, reserved and responsible. But in reality, I'm really goofy. I laugh at dad jokes. I crack up at dumb things along with my kids and husband, because my husband's the one that does all the dumb things. And I'm the best, worst opera singer. And I still sing the wrong words to songs I've known half my life. I married the love of my life, and together we have 6 children. We've got 3 boys and 3 girls, and they range from the ages of 11 to 21. I'm originally from a place called Porirua in Wellington, and our family lived in Perth, Western Australia for about 18 years, and we only just moved back to NZ and living in Auckland in November 2020. What else can I share? Okay, so my just to warn you out, my diary entries are quite boring. So I could have painted a brighter, more interesting, detailed picture of how my life was growing up. However, I didn't. Okay, let's get started and I'll read my first entry. So these diary entries are from 1991 when I was 13 years old. January the 2nd, 1991. Dear Diary, today it was only Mum, Dad, Rach, Diane, Ula, Lorenzo and I at home. There wasn't much noise because no kids were around. While Ula and Dad went out to driving lessons, I looked after Lorenzo. When they came back, Ula crashed the back of the car into a pole, but the damage wasn't bad. Today was the first time I had ever felt really hungry through the day. Just an FYI, Rachel and Diana and Ula, they're my 3 sisters. So Rachel is 18 months older than me and Diana is 18 months younger than me. And Ula, she's my older sister. Her name is actually pronounced Ula, but we've always just called her Ula since we were young. So she's my older sister, and her son Lorenzo, who was also mentioned, he would have been a baby at the time. So while she was out driving, having her driving lessons with my dad, I was babysitting Lorenzo. January the 22nd, 1991. Dear Diary, today nothing much happened. I was feeling really hungry, but we had no food. Good thing it's Mum's pay tomorrow, and Mum had overtime today. We made some fudge today. It was too sweet and made me even more sick. Today was my turn to go next door. I watched a movie on channel I don't know, called The 10th Man, and it was very good. FYI, you will probably notice as I go through my diary entries that I always talk about food, and out of the 3 younger sisters, Rach, Dinah and me, I was probably the one that loved food the most. So that's why I always wrote about food, or that I was hungry, or that I ate this or that. And the reference to next door, if I ever say next door, we're talking about Mrs. Best, our neighbour's house. So when my parents moved into their home in Porirua in 1977, there was an elderly lady that lived next door to them by the name of Mrs. Best. And my older sisters, they would go to Mrs. Best's house and they would massage her because she had quite bad arthritis, and that was a relief for her when my sisters gave her a massage, like massaging her arms, her legs, and then her back as well. And she was such a lovely lady, such a beautiful lady. We loved her. She was like a grandma to us. So when my older sisters moved on and got married and moved out, then it was the responsibility of the 3 younger sisters to start having turns or rotating through to go and massage Mrs. Best. So that was something that we did, all the way up until Mrs. Best passed away. And I think she passed away when I was about maybe 16, 17-ish. Yeah, so our lovely neighbour Mrs. Best. January the 24th, 1991. Dear Diary, when I woke up this morning, it was about 6:30 a.m. Mum went to work at 7 a.m. When I woke up, I went to tidy the living room and kitchen. Then I went to eat my cream bun in the fridge and my chips under my pillow. In the morning I did something to Mum's machine, and when I turned it back on, I started shunting. Oh, shunting means scared. I was scared. Then I realised I was pressing the wrong button. I was happy it worked again. I was so relieved. FYI, I loved chips back in the day, and I still love chips. But I don't actually have them under my pillow. I'm not sure why I have them under my pillow. Maybe I was trying to hold out from my sisters. I don't know. And my kids will use this journal entry against me because I always tell them off if they eat unhealthy things in the morning. And as for Mum's washing machine, I would have been in big trouble had I broken that washing machine. January the 25th. I woke up this morning. Mum, Dinah, Dad and I went to Hotai College to buy my uniform. Today I got my new school skirt, $35, and my new Subways, $89.95. But we're on special for $19.95. $79.95. Now who gets excited about buying school uniforms? And the Subways being $89.95, I think those were shoes, but we did get them on special for $79.95, but still I think that's quite expensive, especially for those days. January the 26th. Dear Diary, today Eve and Nick went home at about 12 p.m. Today we did nothing much, only clean up. Mum and Dad came home at about 5 p.m. Diana and I started eating Mum and Dad's leftover goodies. That's no surprise for me. Today was my turn to go next door. When I got back, I watched some TV. I was really enjoying Nicholas and Alexandra. Must have been some sort of TV show. When Rachel turned the other channel, I went in the garage to watch. Outside, the sky looked really beautiful. January the 27th. Dear Diary, today for breakfast I enjoyed it because I had some spaghetti and cheese bread. It tasted beautiful. At church today I was very happy to know that we didn't have to do the lessons, and I would have been very happy because at that age I was not confident. I did not like to get up in the front of all the girls my age and give a lesson. Carrying on. Okay, so we had a nice tea. We had roasted chicken and taros. At 6, I watched Anne of Green Gables, my favourite program, which I still love today. January the 29th. Dear Diary, today Dinah started school today. Rachel is starting school tomorrow. Today, Rach and I went to the health centre so I could see what my height was and how much I weighed. I was 160 centimetres tall and weighed 9 stones. We had some lollies. We went to the bookshop and then we walked home. When we got home, Rachel and I had to help Dad tidy the garage and straighten out the carpets. Diana was in room 13 and Mrs. Poynton was her teacher. January the 30th. Dear Diary, today is Rachel's birthday. She is 15 years old. She also went to school today. It was only Dad and me at home today. When Dad went to pick up Rach, I just watched the TV. Then Tulane came to see me. We started talking about school. She told me that Mandy and Clara were going to pick me up. Today we did our big shopping. When we got home, Mum was saying that Dad was going to take me to school tomorrow and be there for the whole day. Oh my goodness, I was mad. Now FYI, Tulane was one of my good friends. So it sounds like we're starting high school or college. And my first day at school, instead of being cool and walking to school with all my friends, it sounds like my mum instructed my dad that he was to take me on my first day of high school and stay there. Oh my goodness. January the 31st, my first day at high school or college. Dear Diary, I wasn't excited about going to school because Dad was going to come with me. When Mandy and Clara came to pick me up, I had to tell them the bad news. So they went to pick up Tulane and Tanya. Then Dad asked me, why aren't your friends' parents with them? I said, "No one's parents are going with them, Dad. You don't need to go." I was so happy when he agreed. At school today, my new teacher's name is Mr. Bain. Tanya, Tulane and I are in the same class. We were so happy. So just an FYI, there's nothing wrong with your dad's taking you to school, but, it's the first day of high school. You want to make some good impressions, and you don't really want your parents there when nobody else's parents are there. But I love my dad. So I will wrap it up and leave it there. But if you would like to send through any journal entries that you would like me to read, please forward them on to Helen Hotai, the diary reader, at gmail.com. As per the description box below, please include your journal entry, the date of the entry, your age at the time of the entry, where you're from, example, your country, and whether you would like me to share with the listeners your name, your initials, or whether you want to remain anonymous. Okay, that's Helen Hotai, the diary reader, signing out. Have a good evening, everyone.